Welcome to the Cyclops and the Manslayer. I'm your host, Kovi, and with me today is the Cyclops with the least amount of eyes,
That's me.
Ishai.
Okay, thank you.
Our first topic was let's just jump straight into it with the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. Do you remember anything
No.
from it?
How did he show that to me? Like,
I woke him up with this trailer.
Did you? You woke me up yesterday?
I came to your room. You were like asleep, I think. So you started to watch Wolverine in the MCU.
I am super excited to see how they're going to be so many jokes about them being men.
I have a lot of hope for this actually. Like before the trailer, I was like, oh, I didn't even like that. I loved Deadpool 1, didn't like Deadpool 2. So Deadpool 2 kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
All I'm going to say,
Wait. And then this trailer reminded me, like, oh yeah, like Deadpool is great.
when men like are idiots and don't know anything, and the woman is always like knows best in like Hollywood movies and like always saves the man. It's a woman's planning by definition. It upsets me. I don't like it. I'm pro man.
I usually don't notice.
There's a reason why this podcast is called a mansplainer. Yeah, I really hope in the MCU learned their lesson, or that this movie will be more like Spider-Man 3, where there was like zero wokeness and it was just a great movie. I really hope that's going to be the case again. But it's probably not going to be that case. It's probably just going to be annoying woke. I'm still going to enjoy it, but it's going to be. It's not going to live up to my expectations of what a Wolverine and Deadpool, team up should be like.
Yeah, our expectations are pretty high.
Yeah.
And MCU standards are low nowadays.
Yeah.
But this trailer gave me a lot of hope. It was a good I mean, you don't remember it, but it's good. It's a good trailer.
If you say so.
like the jokes were funny.
I don't remember a single joke. If you would have asked me 2
There's
seconds
a
ago,
scene where Deadpool just he makes some sexual comment and says, "Oh, it's not the first time for me, but it's the first time for Disney," and just stares at the camera.
It's a good one. Yeah, if you would have asked me, did they talk in the trailer, I would have said no. I was convinced that the trailer is just like cool poses.
No, there's a lot of.
Oh yeah, I do actually remember one thing with Deadpool says like he says something to Wolverine and like Deadpool is lying down on the floor, and then Wolverine takes out his claws, and Deadpool says like, "I'm good, thanks."
Oh yeah, what did he say?
Yeah. That's
He's like, "Oh, could you give me a hand?" And then Wolverine takes out his knives and he's like, "Oh, actually, I'm good." Something like that. Like, see, it's like good jokes. Like, I think this movie has a lot of potential.
By the way, after I watched the trailer, I went back to sleep. It's like straight away. So I remember nothing, like completely nothing.
You know what else I watched?
What?
One Piece.
Well, obviously.
I reached episode 900 and something.
Nice. It's a milestone.
And I regret it.
You should. 900 episodes. That's insane. You could have done so many things at that time. I mean, not that I spent my time so well, but yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it on my worst enemy.
What, watching One Piece?
Yeah.
Seriously? You changed your mind like in 180 degrees? Last week you loved it.
Let me tell you my story.
Go
so
ahead.
everyone says that it gets good at like episode 300.
I'm going to try and be as empathetic as I can.
I need it. Everyone says it gets good at episode like 300.
Okay.
Until then, I just suffer.
Okay.
But parts of it are good. Like whenever there's a backstory, I'm like, oh, this is just really sad. It had just enough for me to see its potential and be like, oh, I guess it gets good at episode 300. Then I reach episode 300 and it's good. And then it gets bad again. So I'm like, so I just need to get to the good part later because everyone says it gets even better. The longer you're gone, it gets better and better, right? So I wait, and then it's like bad for like 100 episodes, but then it's good for 100 episodes. Then it's bad for 100 episodes, and it's good for 100 episodes. Long story short, by the time I get to episode 900 and something, I'm like, wait a minute, this show isn't good. Here's its problems. It's a good show that's just way too stretched out. So you have, let's say someone's fighting someone. It's a great fight scene for an episode. Now, the fight scene is 20 episodes. It's just the pacing just kills it.
Yeah, I could have told you that. I watched one episode, and it was so bad. And I told you it was terrible. You're like, no, it's great.
At least
you should have watched the past 150 episodes that built up to this moment.
But you can't you can't tell, you can't have an opinion on One Piece unless you watched, unless you suffered.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
So I did it so that you don't have to.
Well, thank you. I
But
appreciate it.
now, whenever One Piece fan says like, "Oh no, you just didn't get to the good part," so I basically
Punch
called him. I called him on his bluff.
Yeah.
So I have a valid opinion.
Yeah. Did you tell it to your friend that watched it like 3 times in a row, something crazy like that?
Yes.
Like binge watched it?
Yeah.
And what did he say? Are you no longer
He-
friends?
He was surprised. I thought he would be more upset than you would think.
Yeah.
But he was just, I guess, more sad than he was just disappointed. Not.
I was gonna
What's
say
the word the
disappointed.
parents say?
Yeah.
What's that
Ashamed. I'm not angry, just disappointed.
Yeah, that was his reaction.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it might get good again in episode 1120. Are you gonna continue watching it because you're already 900
Absolutely
episodes through it?
not.
Seriously, you're gonna give up like 10%?
Cold turkey.
You watch 90% of it, and you're
But
gonna
it's still going on.
yeah.
So there's no point in catching up because
Didn't
it's
they
not
say-
like I'll reach an end.
Didn't they say that they'll end it by like 2026 or something like that?
The manga,
Yeah.
which is way ahead,
so
I
like
think.
the TV should, the anime should like end at like 2050 or something.
I don't know. Actually, I don't think the manga is that much ahead, but it's the maybe the manga will end one day. It's just not worth it.
I don't have any hope.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's
I did really enjoy. I loved it's like the whole thing. The whole show is about how great friendship is. Like they have a great bond. The crew have a great bond, and I love seeing them like have each other's back, like never giving up anime.
yeah. You sound like someone in a midlife crisis. It's like I spent so much time, and it's so good in these some places.
Whenever there's a there's a lot of backstories. Like every 100 episodes, there's a new arc, and then they meet new characters. And
Yeah.
whenever whenever a new character has a backstory, it's so sad every time. And
Like
that
like
was,
the one of the fat obese woman.
that was the only bad backstory.
It's the only one I watched.
That was a really lame backstory, but every other backstory is great.
You told me it was great when you watched it. I think you're
Because
probably
I watched one episode of that backstory,
No,
and then you joined in.
you're probably delusional. Like this is good. I did not waste a year
No,
of my
I'll tell you what
life.
happened. That arc is called Big Mama Whole Cake Island.
Yeah.
There's an arc, so there's like 200 episodes called Big Whole Cake Island.
Okay.
It's a good arc. Like that, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's what you told me. You should have watched the 200 episodes to build up to this.
Like that part was really good.
The part that I watched.
Those 200 episodes.
Oh.
The 2 episodes that you watched from that part were not good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen to all the children out there. Don't get into it while you still can.
Gotta keep the kids away.
You know, I when I was 13, I remember seeing a poster of One Piece, it's just the pirates with like the one eye, and I thought like, wow, that looks so cool. I want to watch it. And I tried to find it, but I didn't know the name of it, and I couldn't find the poster again, so I didn't watch it. I'm so happy I didn't because I would have wasted like probably would have
you
ended
would
up
have
learning
enjoyed it at
Japanese
that
or
age.
something.
You'd have really enjoyed it.
Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe it's bad that I didn't watch it. Maybe I would have learned Japanese. Would have known another language.
Would have been a full weeb.
Yeah.
Could have asked me. Could have came up to me and be like, "What is that pirate show?"
I guess I did. Look, I was busy watching like My Hero Academia, and I was like, I'm loving My Hero Academia when I was 13, right? I was like, this looks so cool, but whatever. I'll watch My Hero Academia. You know, like have another 500 episodes to go, anyways.
Of My Hero?
Yeah, it was like
My
3
Hero isn't
seasons
that
or
long.
something.
Especially back then.
Yeah, but
Now
you
it's
know,
long.
when you're 13, time goes really slowly. So a season is a lot, and 2 seasons, which is what I needed
But
to catch up with My Hero, was a
Time in
long
real
time.
life is slow, but back then I could watch One Piece in a second.
You're forgetting that I only got to be on like electronics for like an hour a day or
Oh.
something. So like, like everything was super stretched out.
Right.
So like me not needed to start another anime and just focus on My Hero Academia wasn't that big of a sacrifice. Yo, you know what just popped into my head for no reason?
Lay it on me.
The Mandalorian.
What about it?
I don't know. It just popped into my head.
Do you have anything to say about it, or what?
I have nothing to say about it. It just popped into my head. I'm hoping you have something to say about it.
Mandalorian season 1 was good, and then it got bad.
Yeah, I think I watched like 2 seasons and then I stopped.
Season 1 was really special.
Mandalorian would have been so much better if it would have been an anime. Not an anime,
What?
sorry, like animated, not anime. If it would have been
No,
animated.
no, no. The other season, I agree with you, but something about season 1 hit hard.
Look.
And the live action, the fact it was live action, and also looked so great. It would not be better in animation.
Look, this I didn't really mind the animation or like the live action. I didn't mind that part at all. Like I wouldn't have cared less if it wasn't animated or live action. My problem with it is that it had a great story, but the fight scenes were not that great. The fight scenes were like meh. So imagine Clone Wars fight scenes with that story. That would have been a banger of a TV show.
The fight choreography was carried by
Story.
stakes. The stakes were set really well
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
story.
Like
The
it
story.
didn't need good
Okay, but imagine if it would have had great fight photography.
No, I don't think it would be better.
It would be a million times better.
It would just be more generic.
It would. What are you talking about?
It
Would be the same thing, just better.
Visually, how
No,
everything looked, like the sets and the costumes are so cool.
It-
Like, you would making it animation, making it look like everything else, but with better fights and it's just generic.
what are you talking about? Look like everything else. How many Star Wars things are animated except for Clone Wars and Rebels? Nothing is animated.
No,
Like what?
there's some
The anime?
They have an anime. It's called Star Wars Visions.
Most of Star Wars is live action. I like. Why do you have a problem with it being animated? I don't
No, I mean I don't mean the same as every other Star Wars thing. I mean it would be the same as every other animation.
Okay, who cares? It's good. I mean, it would have been literally the same thing. Literally the same thing. The only difference is that a part of it would be better, and that's a fight photography. And me as a 16-year-old, when I watched it, or whenever I watched it, really appreciated the fight photography. And it kind of like took me away a bit that it had bad fight photography.
Really?
Yeah. I actually stopped watching at one point. I didn't finish it.
Don't finish it.
Okay.
It just goes way downhill.
Yeah, you know it should be a general rule.
Hmm.
Everything that's a TV show that has a fight action scenes should be animated. Every single one. Because
No.
I can't name
Deadly
a TV
Class.
show that's live action that has good fight scenes, and Dead Class had like 3. Deadly Class, sorry, had 3 good like fight scenes, but like in general.
No, there's TV shows that they're never good
Fight photography.
choreographed. Never well choreographed. However you say that word, but sometimes you don't need good fight photography to have a good fight if the stakes are high and like you're once you're very invested in
Like
the
Death Note.
characters.
It's like the fight photography.
They don't have
is-
fights.
Yeah, no, the fights are like mental battles. You know, it's like a game of chess.
I wouldn't bring this as an example.
It's a great
to
example
this topic
because it doesn't have fight scenes, and the only reason why the so-called fight scenes are so intense and so good is because of the story and because of the setting up. So if you have
That's
that,
just a different ballpark. I don't know why you're bringing this up.
it's the same thing exactly. I don't see the difference.
It's not.
Because the fight scenes in Death Note are like the mental battles that they have, and it's so good. It's like better than most fight scenes. Okay, I was gonna say something that's complete nonsense. I'm not gonna say it.
That's all you've been saying.
I was going to say that Mandalorian is exactly like Death Note in the sense it's really good and doesn't have fight scenes, and Mandalorian would be exactly like Death Note if Death Note's like so-called fight scenes were just bad. And the reason why that's complete nonsense is because
Not
Death Note doesn't have any, the only thing it has is the mental battles. So yeah, it's different situation at all.
not every TV show needs good fight scenes.
Yeah, but if it has fight scenes like The Mandalorian, then it should be good.
Mandalorian's strength.
I think that's a pretty reasonable take. If you have fight scenes, it should be good.
But specifically Mandalorian's, what's unique about Mandalorian, what made it work in season 1, would be stripped away if it had art style and it was completely different style. Like,
What are you talking about?
because what I like about
There
it
would be
is how
literally
it,
no
like,
difference.
Visually, it was beautiful. I don't know. It was like real.
It
was
would be
like-
the exact same thing,
It would be
just
less
cooler.
real. Animation is inherently less realistic.
Look, I'm not talking about anime animation. I don't want anime animation.
Any animation will never be as realistic
What's the problem? Imagine
because it's animated. It's
No,
not
but listen.
real.
Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Isn't trying to be realistic.
That is a really, really, really good animation, and me watching it does not take away how realistic it looks.
Not every show needs to be realistic either. Obviously,
But you want Mandalorian to look realistic, right? It doesn't need to be realistic. It doesn't have to be live action in order to be realistic. It could have
but
been
live
animated.
action makes it more realistic.
Who cares? We're
That's
talking about
its
Star Wars
greatest
here.
strength.
Don't
That's
forget
its greatest
Mandalorian.
strength.
Mandalorians in general are usually assassins. Like the thing about them is how cool the fight scenes are. That's the only reason why I like them as a 13-year-old watching Clone Wars, is because they fight so cool. So now giving them a Mandalorian TV show and the fight photography is bad, it kind of takes it away. You know?
I
Checkmate.
know it's all. I don't have anything else to say.
Because I won the argument.
You know the band. You know the no. You know the band. You know the by Die Antwoord, the South Africa one.
What?
The band from South Africa.
South Africa?
Yeah.
That song? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
If South Africa.
it's probably not allowed to enjoy it.
What do you mean you're not allowed to enjoy it?
Like I bet if you go on the internet and say you like that band,
People
will
hate you?
tell you like no.
Look, I just spent all day on Discord where like the only opinions that are acceptable, like insane ones. So as far as I'm concerned, you could say like whatever you want, and people would agree with you.
I don't know why I put this in this. I don't know why I put that band in the topics for this podcast. Like it doesn't fit.
Yeah, I love the band, except for the fact that they're South Africans. I hate South Africa.
What? That's the best part
They're
of
on
the
Japan
band.
Semites like crazy. They're South Africans.
No.
I mean, my mother's South African, but except for the Jewish community, I don't like South Africa.
Like I have things to say about the band, but this is not a music podcast.
Say it. Okay, say it. Like now I'm
I would
curious.
have to explain what this band is
Okay,
to the
explain it.
listeners. To
Look, now I'm
all the
curious.
listeners.
You can't bring up a talk and be like, I'm not gonna talk about it. Like say something that might
regretting bringing it up because it's like
Yeah, go come on, it's fine. You can talk about it. This like everyone who watches movies also listens to music. Obviously, there's not a problem talking about music.
I don't want to explain.
Not to mention, there's no way we're gonna talk about this more than 10 minutes because what do we possibly have to say about them? So just say it. Say it. Say it. No, come on, say it. Say it. I want to hear what you have to say.
I forgot what I wanted to say.
Well, that's a convenient thing that just happened.
No, I really did. What's the worst Star Wars content
That I've ever watched?
Yeah.
Rebels. Either Rebels or
I thought you liked Rebels.
I did it as a little kid, but like no. I think that's a good point because I enjoyed it as a little kid. Because like if I would have watched Star Wars 1 right now, I would hate it with passion. But
by Star Wars 1, do you mean Phantom Menace or New Hope?
I mean Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And but because I watched it as a kid, as a good, it's like good as in a memory, right?
For sure.
So same thing with Rebels. Like I did watch a little bit of Rebels recently, and I hated it, but I watched it as a kid, so it does have quite of a good memory inside my head.
Rebels?
So I think Ahsoka, the new Ahsoka TV show is just so bad. It's so bad.
Hold on. Back to Rebels again. Our age gap, we have a small age gap. Like throughout all our lives, we always watched the same thing, even though I was older, and there was never something that I was too old for that you enjoyed, except Rebels. It's the only example of something that you enjoyed.
You know why that is?
And I was older, and I was like, "Nah, this."
You know why that is?
Okay.
Because you're the older brother. So literally everything you like, I automatically like as well as a 10-year-old. Right, as like a little kid. But
you basically never found something on your own.
I would never find something on my own.
You're so spoiled.
Yeah, I would go. I went to like ultra orthodox, ultra religious school, so like no one watched movies or anything. So you're like my only way of watching movies. I didn't even have access to the internet.
To do
Yeah.
to find new shows. So get out of here.
No,
You didn't. I suffered. You don't understand. So should everyone. Well, nowadays I'm really good at finding new stuff. Back then it was hard.
yeah, but the only reason why I found Rebels was because you introduced me to Star Wars.
Did you never go to Blockbuster and just take something off?
No, I never did that.
Never.
In my entire life.
You missed out.
Well, I was like 7. You can't. You need to pay money. I didn't have any money when I was
No,
7.
like no, our parents would be like, "Oh, you're allowed." Like
not for me. That was for you, not for me.
Eh.
They learned from their mistake.
No, every once in a while they would be like, "Oh, you could watch a movie." Let's say, for example, I would have a sleepover.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Okay," like whenever there's a sleepover, we'll be allowed to just go to Blockbuster and just pick something off the shelf.
Yeah, we were not allowed to do that. When I had a sleepover, we wouldn't.
What
do
did you
that.
do on a sleepover?
We would watch a parent-approved movie that we already had. So like
Something
I
already found.
Yeah. So I just rewatch everything that you watch. Like you know how every month
we had discs at home.
Yeah, so I would watch one of
You
those.
never watched anything on Blockbuster?
No.
Though?
I never went by myself to Blockbuster and got a movie to watch.
Did you go with someone?
Well, yeah, I went with like Tammy and Gary and stuff. when they would allow us to watch movies, but never by myself for a sleepover or something like that. And also, like by the time I had sleepovers, I'm pretty sure Blockbuster was mostly dead, and like you could already like watch things online.
It's so sad.
Yeah, I think it's sadder for you because I didn't really have much of an experience at Blockbuster.
Yeah, I'm saying you missed out.
Yeah, probably.
It was really fun to just like you just have walls
Yeah.
of movies and you just look at all the posters and pick whatever looks cool. It's really fun.
I do remember going to Blockbuster and just looking at the walls
Yeah, you could just
and
stare at the walls
seeing
for
the
hours.
trailers because they would have like screens on the walls, right? Like on the top of the walls.
There was one screen.
There was. So I remember staring at that.
They would randomly. It wasn't trailers. They would randomly put a movie on.
Yeah, you know how every month, mommy would allow us to watch a movie.
Yeah.
So you would go to Blockbuster, I assume, and watch
Yeah.
something. She wouldn't allow me to do that. I would just like rewatch one of the movies that you showed me, like Tintin or something like that.
From Blockbuster?
No, from like the movies that we had at home. So like
Really?
Nighttime in the Museum and like movies like that.
I also rewatched those a million times, but I would
Yeah.
also go to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to
I
talk
didn't have
about
that-
Ahsoka.
I didn't have that privilege. Soccer?
Ahsoka.
Oh, Ahsoka.
I didn't watch it, so I don't have much to say about it. It's just, you know what? You know what I have to say about Ahsoka?
What?
It made liking Ahsoka not cool.
Okay, so last night I finished watching the first Clone Wars movie that was animated with Ahsoka, and I remembered how good Ahsoka was. Ahsoka was so fun. She was such a good character.
Did you enjoy the movie? You rewatched the movie. Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it because it was like nostalgic, but it was really bad because it was made for 7-year-olds. And
Listen,
it
you
looked
gotta
like an
watch
A-
season 3.
it looked like an AI made it. No, yeah, I know.
Clone Wars is an example of One Piece, but that actually gets good.
Yeah, I know that Clone Wars is gets better as it ages.
Why did you rewatch the movie and not like the good seasons?
Well, I wanted to just watch all of Clone Wars, and I was gonna start with episode 1, but then I was like, yeah, it has a movie. Like when looking for this TV show, I realized that it has a movie, and I remembered. I was like, yeah, I'll watch that before I watch the TV show. Does it make sense? And I was like, you know what I thought of? It looked like a movie that ChatGPT made. I'm serious. The acting, the animation, the way they walked, it looked like an AI made that movie. And it was a cute movie, you know? It was clearly for 7-year-olds.
I have a lot of good memories.
And it was so nice to not have any wokeness in it. So nice. You have no idea. I miss those days so bad. I really hope wokeness dies soon. So yeah, watching Ahsoka, the Clone Wars movie, reminded me how good Ahsoka is. And now when you just mentioned the Ahsoka TV show, you reminded me how terrible the TV show was, and it ruined the character for me. Before last night, when I would think of Ahsoka, I would think of it as such a lame, boring character that they give you in the TV show. And also last night, I'm like, wow, Ahsoka's so good. I want more of that.
When people would say, "What's your favorite Star Wars character?" I would usually say Ahsoka. And now I'm like embarrassed. I would have to. I can't just say that without being like, not the.
Yeah, it's a controversial opinion that you have to give a disclaimer for. It's kind of like when you like talk about religions or something, and you're like, disclaimer, I do not care.
but now that we say that out loud,
yeah,
I think it's self-explanatory if you say that.
What do you mean?
If you're talking to a Star Wars fan that also watched Clone Wars,
yeah,
you say a favorite Star character is Ahsoka, he would immediately understand what you're talking about. It's only when you're talking about people who don't know what Clone Wars is,
yeah,
then you would have to be like
the 13-year-olds. But they anyways they watched
the normies.
Yeah. They watched they probably like it because they're 13. They probably like
no one
the
likes
Ahsoka TV show. No, look, I watched it with my two friends.
Here's the thing: it's a lot more well known than the Clone Wars. So there'll be a lot of normies that know of it, don't like it, don't even know what Clone Wars is.
Yeah, I watched Ahsoka with my two friends who are obsessed with Star Wars, and they liked it.
What?
Yeah, I know that was my reaction. But
what did they like about it?
They're just such massive fans of Star Wars that they found a way to like it. You know how
trying hard.
They were really trying hard. I'm serious. They were. You know how people when if you're Jewish and you hear something that's written in the Torah and you find a way to see how that's positive, how that's good. And then you have a Christian or Muslim who reads the same thing and he's like, wow, that's terrible, you know? And same thing about Christianity and Islam.
Yeah.
So I watched it and I was kind of based because I don't really care too much about Star Wars. I do like it, but not that much. I was like, this is just hot garbage. And they're like, this is so good. You don't see the meaning.
The meaning?
There was no meaning. They were just
No, it
making
ain't
stuff
so
up.
deep.
They were just delusional, looking for excuses to enjoy it. And I'm sure there are a lot of Star Wars fans out there that did the same thing.
That's how I felt with WandaVision.
Yeah. I mean, I did kind of enjoy WandaVision. It wasn't that good though.
Before it ended,
I did try and look for hidden meanings all the time.
it looked like it was going somewhere. And then it ended, and you're like, oh,
Wait a
the
minute,
whole thing
it
was
didn't
pointless.
go anywhere. Yeah.
WandaVision was pointless, but before it ended, though, I don't don't judge, okay? Before it ended, it was interesting.
Yeah, because it built up to something. It
Yep.
was building up to something very interesting that could very much change the entire MCU. And there's
And it
like,
was
nope, nothing. Literally nothing changed.
I think that was reshoots
That makes it worse.
because of Corona.
Yeah. You
Something
remember
like that.
Corona? Remember how crazy everyone was? You know, what's hilarious is that Golda is still wearing masks. She came to Israel and she was wearing masks, and everyone thought she's a crazy person, and she's from like New Carolina, some like left-wing state where everyone still wears masks. Corona. Everyone went into such
I'm excited to talk to people again about Corona because I haven't spoken about Corona besides to you, but we have to share the same opinion on everything. So.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to talk to Corona to like a variety of different people again.
Yeah, you know, I asked Auntie Golda, are you
It's
gonna
been so long, yeah.
are you gonna ever take off the mask? Like, are you waiting for like the 8th booster? Like, what are you waiting for? And she said like, yeah, I'll just die with it. I'll just wear the mask forever. I was like, what? And I was like, it's dangerous.
Back to Star Wars though. You know what's worse than Rebels?
What?
I asked the question, what's the worst Star Wars content?
Yeah, Stock, I'm pretty sure.
Sequels.
You're wrong. 7 was pretty good.
7 was only good before 8 and 9 came out.
No, look, the movie was good. 8 and 9 ruined it, but the movie 7 was good. And much better than 6, 5, and 4
No.
combined. Of course. What are you talking about?
No. Absolutely not. Because when it came out, it was like, oh, Star Wars is back. I'm so excited to see where they're going to go. That's the only
Yes.
reason why it was good.
And it was just so nostalgic because I was waiting from like 5 years or something for a new Star Wars movie to come out. And we watched it in like a premiere, remember?
I don't think they announced it 5 years before it came out.
No, but I was
Maybe
always
they did.
waiting for a new Star Wars movie to come out.
I wonder
'Cause-
how long it was since they announced it to when it came out.
I'm pretty sure it was quite a long time. I don't remember it
Yeah.
so well, but I'm pretty sure it was a long time.
Anyway, the only reason why we enjoyed it... I just love how close you are to the mic now. The only reason why we enjoyed it was because it was exciting that Star Wars was back, and not for any actual content.
If you would have watched it now, would you have enjoyed Star Wars 7?
Absolutely not.
Seriously?
Absolutely not. And
It
I
was good.
rewatched it too, so like a long time ago, but because I watched it, you watched it once, right?
I watched it once.
I watched it twice, okay?
Oh.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those things that you just like enjoyed because you watched it when you were a kid.
It was just very hype,
So hype.
but looking back at it, there's nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, is 7 when Luke died?
That's not 7.
When did Luke die? Is that 8?
8 or 9.
I think it was
8.
8. 8, yeah. It was 8. Yeah, 7 was good. I don't remember 7 being bad. I remember 8 being bad because Luke was just trash.
What was good
and
about 7? You won't be able to answer me.
I like the characters. Look, I don't remember it. I watched it like 10 years
Are-
ago. It's the same thing as saying that Star Wars 1, which is the first Star Wars to ever come out. Not to ever come out, sorry. The first like official... No, it's not official. The first unofficial Star Wars. I don't know the name of it. I forgot.
New Hope?
Yeah, New Hope. No, not New Hope. The unofficial
Phantom
one.
Menace?
Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace was really bad. I know it was really bad. But I watched it as a little kid and I loved it. So it's good. That's the same feeling that I have about pretty much all Star Wars movies, to be honest with you. Except for like, I don't know. I guess Mandalorian and like Han Solo maybe.
I think this is another case of me being older than you when I watched 7, so...
I just
It's
remember
not
7 being
clouded.
really good. I remember
Okay.
thinking to myself, 7 is the best Star Wars movie.
I also used to say that. And then 8 came out.
And then you rewatched it.
No, I only rewatched it. I'm telling you, 8 and 9 ruins 7.
Look,
Because-
Ant-Man...
Because then it's like WandaVision. You know how in the beginning of WandaVision it's good and then it goes nowhere? the exact same thing with 7. It's like, oh, this is exciting, and then it goes nowhere.
No, because 7 has its own independent story-ish.
Yeah,
It's kind of like,
New
it's.
Hope.
I think, no, it's not
But
like
again-
Wanda. I think it's more like Ant-Man, where Ant-Man 1 was so good, and Ant-Man 2 was meh. Ant-Man 3 was so bad, but just because Ant-Man 3 and 2 were
There's a-
super bad and meh, doesn't make Ant-Man 1 trash. And Ant-Man 1 was still a super good movie that
There's
I really
a
enjoyed.
major difference between Ant-Man and Star Wars.
No, there
is that
isn't.
Ant-Man movies are kind of standalone and don't depend on each other. Like the story of 2 and 3 don't continue one really. They're just very separate movies.
Listen,
They're not even called 1, 2, and 3 because like they're like 3 separate movie that you could show anyone Ant-Man 2 or Ant-Man 3 without watching Ant-Man 1. That's how separate they are.
same thing as
The
Star Wars 7.
sequels- No, the sequels of Star Wars are so intertwined with each other that you can't.
They're not that.
It's hard to judge them individually and not as a group.
So that's my point. Star Wars 7 was made by one director who wanted to take the series to a certain place. And then another director came in Star Wars 8 and completely scrapped everything and
Right.
started his own first movie. So Star Wars 7 and Star Wars 8 don't really have anything to do with one another except for they adopted the same characters. Star Wars 9 was a continuation of Star Wars 8 by the director of Star Wars 7. That's why the sequels were so messed up. Okay? But Star Wars 7 was very separate. You can see it as a separate movie from 8 and 9.
No.
So that's my point. That's why I think it's it's a
How
mixture
do
of
you see it
Wanda.
any separate?
It's a mixture from between Wanda and Ant-Man, but I think it's more similar to Ant-Man than it is Wanda. And also if it's not, I mean, I just enjoyed. I can say that I enjoyed the beginning of Wanda. Like we literally just said that. I can say I enjoyed Star Wars
But
7
when you
and didn't
judge-
enjoy Star Wars 8 and 9.
But when you go back and judge it as a whole,
But that's not what I'm doing. I'm judging them as independent movies.
you kind of can't.
I'm comparing the Star Wars 7 to Star Wars 8 and to Star Wars 9. I'm not thinking about that on the whole. Look, to be honest with you, I barely remember anything. I'm talking out of like scraps of memory that I have from those movies. But so it's very possible that like that I'm completely talking nonsense, but I'm pretty sure I'm being pretty accurate here.
They also ruin the sequels, like that entire. You know how Star Wars has these timelines. There's the Clone Wars era and like the original trilogy era, and then a million spin-offs in between the two.
Yeah.
The sequels are not only bad movies, they also ruin any story they want to put in the future of all of Star Wars. It's all just completely. I don't want to watch anything from that era.
I don't think that's true because you can just make a new Star Wars movie that's after that.
That it's still ruined.
Why would they run it? They could have that exact same technology. Just
It
do
would
in
have
advance.
to because
It would be exact same situations,
it's like
just future.
I don't. Everyone would be taught by Rey. The entire Jedi Council would be started by Rey. That's why it's not. It's like I don't want to see it.
I'll be honest with you, I forgot about that scene. If there wasn't even a scene with Rey is teaching people.
No, but it ends
doesn't-
where she's the only Jedi.
No, doesn't 9 end where there's like 2 secret like Jedi kids that are like
That's Star Wars
sweet and
8.
something? Oh, that's 8.
And it goes nowhere.
It's so dumb. Yeah, Star Wars sucks. It's our conclusion. No, Star Wars really sucks. I mean, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9, we can all agree are bad movies. We
What?
just enjoyed them because we watched them as kids, honestly. Like, the only thing that's good about Star Wars is Clone
No, I
Wars.
think if I watched the original trilogy
And-
now, I would enjoy it.
The original trilogy,
Yeah.
like 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Look, everyone tells you that I will enjoy it, and that's probably the same reason why you think you will enjoy it, but I don't think I will. Because it's terrible. It's terrible fight photography. The story probably sucks.
It doesn't.
We're talking about a story here from the 70s.
So what?
Therefore, it sucks.
No. Is Lord of the
yeah,
Rings
it doesn't.
bad,
It doesn't.
right?
You're right. No, you didn't.
It was written in like World War II.
I know. Yeah, it was like post World War II era when it was written.
It's just. I think. Here's the thing. The original trilogy.
You know, what's
We
funny?
could never watch it with like untainted eyes, cause like it's hard for us to rewatch something. We usually watch something once, and then only go back to it once we forget it. We never forgot it.
What, Star Wars?
Yeah, we never forgot what happens in the original trilogy, so we can't like go back and watch it again and see, oh, what would it be like if I watch it at this age?
Yeah,
It would
you're right.
be or either nostalgia or I remember it too well, so I can't rewatch it. So
I remember the whole story and the whole script, but I do not remember the independent scenes. So it'll be like a mixture of the two. But you know what's funny? The creator of Star Wars, what's his name again?
George Lucas.
Not Luke. George Lucas. It was originally like the whole story was that the Empire was the United States and the rebels were the Viet Cons. But then in Clone Wars, the Empire is the good guys, and the bad guys are like the Viet Congs.
I don't want to hear about this.
So yeah, I heard about it in an interview with him that he said that he took inspiration from that. You could say that was the first woke movie. But yeah,
Can you like not talk about wokeism for 1 second?
I don't like it. I do not like it at all.
Now, what's the best part of Star Wars besides? I mean, the answer is Clone Wars. So besides Clone Wars, besides the Clone Wars TV show, which is the official best part of Star Wars, what else is the best part of Star Wars?
You have a lot of really good Star Wars like comic books.
No,
I read some of them as a kid and I really liked them.
the comic books are not Star Wars' best content. Are you crazy?
By the way, did you ever watch the finished anime?
Which anime?
The Star Wars anime.
Yeah, of course I finished it. Why?
I didn't finish it. I completely forgot about it. I watched like 2 episodes and I was gonna continue, but I completely and utterly forgot about it.
The season 1 was really good, and then like a year ago, I don't know. Recently, it got like a new season, like not long ago.
And it was bad.
Really bad
Really?
season, but don't. That's gonna make you not want to watch it.
No, what's it?
Season one is really good. Like, definitely don't not watch season 1 just
You'll-
because season 2 is bad. You could watch season 1 and just never watch season 2 because you know it's not.
Yeah, like Vinland Saga. You should remind me though, because I'm probably gonna forget if I don't write it down right now.
I could remind you.
There's so many things I need to watch. So many.
Season 2, like, you know, do you remember that show, that anime? It's like each episode is a different story.
Yeah.
So that you literally don't need to watch season 2 because
Yeah.
it doesn't connect to anything.
It's like literally not the same thing. It's like independent comic books.
If I remember correctly, there was not a single good thing about season 2.
Really?
Yeah, it was completely different. Season 1 was like a lot of fight scenes basically.
Is it always Star Wars in Japan?
No.
Only the first episode?
Yes.
Really? I thought the entire thing was based in Japan.
No, I wish.
Okay.
Each one, you know the show Black Diamond or something?
The show Black Diamond?
No, there's like a famous show where each episode is completely different from the other.
The one where you
Something Black
showed
something.
the one Black Mirror?
Yeah, Black Mirror, Black Diamond. So Star Wars Vision is just Black Mirror, where each one is a different art style. So each episode
Yeah.
is a different art style.
That's cool. Did they have a different director for each
Yes.
episode?
Even different anime studio,
Wow.
which was really cool.
That's impressive. I mean, that's taking such a big risk because you have no idea if the next one's gonna be good or not. And I mean, that's what happened.
It was the most famous anime. It was the biggest anime studio, so it's not a risk at all.
Oh.
I don't know what happened in season 2 though. They all suddenly became the same art style, and it was almost each one. It was a different story, but each story felt the same. It was just like a dumb kid with like a Play-Doh art style. That's like I haven't watched it in a while. There was something like there was always an older brother or teacher that dies. I think I don't
Yeah.
remember anymore.
Going back to wokeness.
No.
One thing. Wokeness is partially responsible for October 7th.
I don't want to hear about it.
Mm-hmm. It is.
No, really, like, don't bring this up, please.
The reason for that. No, okay. We'll move on.
I haven't really decided what's my favorite part besides Clone Wars.
What?
I haven't decided what's my favorite part of Star Wars besides Clone Wars.
I think I would say 7. I mean, you kind of told me
No.
right now that 7 actually sucks, but like honestly, my memory 7 was really good.
It would have to be something in the prequel era, because that's what Star Wars is.
I mean, you
It's
could
the
say
best of Star Wars.
Han Solo, maybe Rogue One, you know, Mandalorian.
Those two are not in the prequel era. Like,
Yeah.
I love the Clone Wars era where there's a million Jedis running around.
You know what I would love to do?
I think. Wait, before you say what you'd love to do, I think I might go with like Revenge of the Sith, which is the third Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I think that would be my favorite Star Wars thing, cause it's in my favorite like era.
What I would
So
love to
much
do,
Jedi.
and I've always been fantasizing about it, like as a kid, and I, you know, my opinion really hasn't changed. Still want to do it. Buy Star Wars and make it great again. I would love to do that, even though it's so unrealistic.
Even a billionaire couldn't do that, cause Disney not gonna.
They're never gonna sell it.
They're not gonna just give it up.
They'll won't sell off the world. I mean, how much did they buy it for? Like 4 billion or something, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. Did they make their money back from it? Like, what did they even do with it? They made like 3
They will if
sucky
they
movies.
didn't. No, think about the merch.
Oh yeah, also the
that
Disney
it will
World.
go on forever.
Disney World alone probably
yeah, Disney
calls them
World.
to make their money back.
I mean, they'll never stop, and
And
they'll always make money. They
This-
will eventually make their money back.
Yeah, there are two ways they can sell it. Either Disney like kind of goes bankrupt and they have no choice but to
That's
sell
not
everything.
an option.
It happened with Marvel, but whatever.
Marvel's not bankrupt.
That's actually a technical option because Disney is just releasing like bad movie after bad movie after bad movie after bad movie, and their reputation is really getting damaged. So it is technically possible.
They're not going anywhere.
Hope it's not going to happen though,
And
of
they
course.
do have good movies every once in a while.
Like what?
Like, for example, Pixar movies have
Hold on.
they're bad usually nowadays, but every
Yeah,
once in a while they
nowadays.
get a banger and
Yeah,
that makes a ton of money.
No, like in the past couple of years, yes, but not recently.
no, so recently.
Like what? What was a good Pixar
I didn't
movie
watch
that
it.
came out
But
recently?
like, for example, everyone loves the movie Coco.
Okay.
I
I mean, that was before wokeness. Like after 2020, what good movie did they come up with?
That
Well, that's the reason why they're going bankrupt.
No.
Yeah.
There's so much more to movies.
No, it's because they started.
their
They
philosophy.
stopped. No. Disney before 2020 would hire people based on merit, based on whether they're good at making movies or bad at making movies. Now they hire people based on how woke they are, like how black they are, how gay they are, how poor they are, etc. How bad they are at making movies, quite frankly. So yeah, that's the reason why they suck. And yeah, so it is technically an option that they could go bankrupt and sell Star Wars. And another option is that Star Wars just becomes so bad that no one cares about it and they sell it. That's another option. But yeah, both are super unrealistic.
Moving on.
Go ahead.
Do you want to tell
Ignore
us?
that.
Do you want to bust out the top 5 list?
Yes.
Top 5 best MCU movies.
Top 5 best MCU movies. Yeah, let's go to the worst, because the worst are way funnier than the
No,
best.
but we've been talking so negative this whole time. Let's talk about the best.
Yeah, because MCU sucks right now, and Star Wars sucks right now.
I
Everything
wanna-
sucks. That's why you're talking negatively. Nothing wrong with us.
we're gonna cover both. I'm thinking next.
The top is so generic, though.
No,
For me, it is. It's the
No.
most obvious.
just
Top.
just do the top best. We'll do. The
Okay,
top
fine,
worst
fine.
later.
The best MCU movie was Avengers Infinity War.
Was what?
Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against that.
Mhm. Very generic. As I said.
Go on.
Second best is Avengers Endgame. Look, I think most people would agree with this list, by the way. That's what makes it generic. The third on the list is Captain America Civil War. Also super generic. The fourth on the list is Captain America Winter Soldier.
We have a really similar list.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, what's your list?
Number 1 is Avengers Endgame. Number 2
Mhm.
is Captain America Civil War. 3 is the Avengers. Number 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Before Infinity War?
Yeah.
How? I think you're forgetting how good Infinity War was.
no.
It was better than Endgame.
No.
It was
Endgame's
definitely
way
better
better.
than Endgame.
Endgame is the same, but more hype.
No, Endgame, the first half of Endgame was not that good. It was great, but not as good as an MCU, as an Avengers Infinity War movie.
What do you mean? They
Infinity
went back
War
to
was
the
great.
past.
Infinity War is great for the entire movie.
In the beginning
Because it
of
was
Endgame
pretty
was
slow.
them going back to all the movies. So it gets like, it's like you go to like Guardians of the Galaxy and you go back to Avengers 1 and that is great.
That
is
was-
like,
That was like half an hour through the movie. The first half
Right.
an hour was like a therapy session.
you didn't enjoy that?
I enjoyed it, but it's not Infinity War style. Infinity War, the entire movie was just amazing. It was just good.
It's just because it's fight scenes after
Exactly.
fight scene.
I was 16. I enjoyed it. That's what I enjoyed about it.
So I really loved everyone being sad in the beginning of Endgame.
It made sense. It made a lot of sense. But maybe half an hour is too long.
No, go on for longer even. It was
Endgame was supposed to be like a boxing match between two superpowers.
You get that at the end.
Exactly. But that's why Infinity War is better, because Infinity War, the entire thing was a boxing match between two superpowers. The Endgame is only the second half.
Everyone enjoyed Infinity War more than me. You know what? I watched every MCU movie opening night except Infinity War.
Really?
Yeah.
Pretty sure I went with you.
Yeah, you didn't watch it opening night.
But it was packed. Like crazy packed.
Infinity War, not Endgame.
Infinity War.
It was not opening night.
Yeah, but it was super packed.
But it wasn't
Like there was no room to move. It was
there wasn't as much like clapping and stuff.
talking about. I don't think you remember it. The clapping was insane.
In Infinity War, not
in Infinity War. There was
It was
guys
not
dressed up as
opening-
Hulk and everything.
It was objectively not as
it was
clapping and
it's
rock
exact same
star
thing.
concert.
It was exact same thing as a Rockstar concert and any other
It was
opening night because it was
not.
packed.
It was not opening day.
It was
It was
so
like
packed.
It was like
yeah, but
weeks later.
it was not weeks later.
It was. You know why?
Why? No, wasn't that
Sfera
Endgame?
Tomel.
Wasn't that Endgame?
Nope.
I'm pretty sure that was Endgame. I
Nope.
remember going back from the bus and talking with you about quantum mechanics. And I remember that wasn't opening night. That was Endgame.
Endgame was opening night. Everyone were dressed
Oh
up.
yeah, you're right. Because we watched Endgame like 3 times in the movie theater.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why. That's what I'm remembering.
Wow, I forgot I used to do that.
Yeah.
Why would I do that to
You know,
myself?
Thor Ragnarok. I watched it 4 times in the movie theater.
Me too. I watched it 3 times, I think.
I went with like 4 different friends 4 different times.
But like, I was like forcing it because
It was so good.
I can't
It was really good.
watch a movie without forgetting it. I can't rewatch a movie without forgetting it first.
I can. Especially back then.
The only thing I got out of going to it again and again was like the conversations. Like,
No, I enjoyed it every time. You didn't enjoy the movie when you went to rewatch
way
it?
less. When I rewatch a movie, I enjoy it way less. I can't do it.
I mean, obviously you enjoyed less, but it's still really good.
No, I mean, especially the third time.
I enjoyed it every single time. Every
Much
single
like
time.
the third time, a week later,
I
is
feel
like, like I can't enjoy it anymore.
I feel like it's just different genetics because you have the same opinion about music. You just skip like a song even though you love it because you're like, oh, I heard it 3 times.
You can't have an opinion on that if you don't even listen to songs every day.
Of course I don't listen to songs every day. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, if you did, you would stop
That's not true.
enjoying.
No,
the same
you
song.
skip songs so often even though they're so
Because I
such
listen
good
to them
songs.
every day.
Okay, moving on. What's your other?
What do you think of my Guardians of the Galaxy at number 4?
My Guardians of the Galaxy is number 5.
You know, I realized, basically the same spot. You realize, you realized, I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, or Marvel, and I realized something. Had an epiphany about myself. Like, I think Guardians is my favorite superhero. And I didn't realize this until, I didn't think about that until now because it's not a superhero, it's a team. But individually, none of them are my favorite, even though I could argue otherwise. But, like, as a team, they're easily the favorite superhero.
I mean, good luck. Guardians 1 at least was really
yeah, talking
good.
only about Guardians 1 here.
Yeah, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy that I put on the list is talking about Guardians 1. That goes without saying. It was really, really good, but I don't think it's a best team. Okay.
Not team. Talking about, because they're not like the Avengers. They're not like that much individualistic as the Avengers. The Avengers, each one has his own franchise. Guardians are not like that. They're kind of like one superhero together. That's why I feel comfortable calling it my favorite superhero. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, look, for me, it's a team. They're definitely the best team in Guardians 1 at least. They're definitely the best team, but
I don't see them as
superhero
much as a team.
Is one of the Guardians? No way.
Who would your favorite superhero be?
Superman. No, of course not. Which one would be my favorite superhero? Maybe Spider-Man. I don't know. I really love Spider-Man when I read all the comics.
Everyone likes Spider-Man more than me.
Seems like everyone loves a lot of things more than you.
No. Like, Spider-Man is...
What are you talking about? One Piece, Spider-Man, Infinity War, music.
You don't even like music. Okay, listen. Spider-Man, he's
That's
everyone's
misinformation.
favorite superhero. And to
Mhm.
me, he's great.
Does that make him bad though?
What?
Just because he's everyone's favorite doesn't
No,
make him
no.
worse.
I'm saying I don't have strong feelings towards him as much as everyone else does.
I love him so much.
He's great every once in a while, but he's not like I would not want to watch a TV show about him.
Oh, I would love to watch a TV show about him. Imagine a TV show about him where it's like the Star Wars anime, where every single time it's completely different, has nothing to do with one another. So it's kind of like the comic books, you know, like every time you go on a different adventure with him. And he's also slightly a different character every time. I would love to watch that.
Spider-Man when I feel like, oh, I want a teenage superhero, but I usually don't feel that.
You usually don't feel like you want a teenage superhero. That's usually what most people
No,
want.
I prefer Guardians of the Galaxy.
As a teenager.
I prefer Guardians of the Galaxy, which is like
Guardians is so good. You're
a
making
bunch
me
of
want to rewatch all these
a
movies.
bunch of gangsters saving the world.
Galaxy.
They're like there's especially in Marvel. There's like Marvel and DC. They don't have that. I guess that was Suicide Squad. Besides that, no, but it's different.
Yeah. Now that Deadpool is in the MCU, so they're inevitably going to have the team that's like Suicide Squad of Marvel.
There's two. Are you talking about the Thunderbolts?
Yeah, the Thunderbolts.
What's that team that they had in Deadpool 2 called? Some X-Force.
Yeah, X-Force.
Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts?
Yeah. I mean, I remember as a kid, like,
It's gonna be a bad TV
really
show.
wanting to see a Thunderbolt movie or TV show, whatever. And now I'm like, whatever. I hope they don't even.
It's just
release
gonna be
it.
another Disney Plus TV show.
I hope they don't even release it and like ruin my expectations again.
They're gonna do something like that for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Either that or Dark Avengers. They're like building up to it.
What's the Dark Avengers?
It's the Thunderbolts, but in a different crew. It's the same thing.
Oh, Dark Avengers. We had a comic book with them, right? It's like where
Yeah, it's just bad
the
guys. It's
Spider-Man
just a
villain,
Suicide Squad.
Green Goblin, takes control. Kalo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Suicide Squad, in it.
Yeah, it's basically It's a mixture between Suicide Squad and Thunderbolts, which are basically the same thing.
I'm really sad that Doctor Strange isn't on my top 5. I really want it to be.
Doctor Strange was good. Doctor Strange 2 was a joke. It was a parody of itself.
I wanna move it up instead of Thor Ragnarok.
How dare you?
Because Thor Ragnarok is just more hype, which is why it's on there. But like Doctor Strange means more to me.
Look, you just love fantasy, so
Yeah,
again,
love magic.
different genetics. Okay, so the worst MCU
I
movie.
have this same. Here's the thing.
I really want to talk about the worst.
Yeah, just a second. Hold it in your pants for a second. I have this list.
Yeah.
I mean, you already know, but I have this list of every MCU movie from best to worst, and it's the
Mhm.
same list for years. And
Yeah.
I only update it when I add a new movie to it. I never like went back and changed the order that much. Now I'm looking
Yeah.
at the list and I'm like, I need to put Doctor Strange higher.
Yeah. I mean, look, the worst MCU movie that I've ever watched is The Marvels.
You just can't wait.
I didn't even watch it. I just know that it's the worst. I just know that it's the worst, so I put it on the list.
You can't put it in the worst if you haven't watched it.
I guarantee you it's the worst.
It's not necessarily worse than Ant-Man Quantumania.
Because I know that it's going to be in the worst, so I can put it on the list.
Wait, read out your top 5. Your top 5 worst.
The Marvels, Thor 4, Eternals, which might be worse than Thor 4, Ant-Man 3, and Black Panther 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We have. Wait, you said Ant-Man 2?
I said Ant-Man 3.
Wait, say it again. I wasn't concentrating.
The Marvels, Thor 4, Eternals, Ant-Man 3, Black Panther 2.
Eternals wasn't that bad.
Take that back. Eternals was so trash.
They have very interesting superpowers though,
No, they don't.
and good fight scenes.
It's so generic, and it's so stupid, and it's so bad. It's just bad.
It's turn your brain off. Great fight scenes.
What are you talking about? It was so
They
bad.
have
fight
they
scenes.
have the best speedster fighting.
It was a stereotypical woke movie.
Listen, name a movie with a better speedster
X-Men.
when it comes to fight scenes. No,
What do
that
you
was
know?
so overdone. Every movie after
They
X-Men,
started it though, but they started it. Therefore, it's really good. They started the trend.
Okay, but like now it's the Eternals did a thing with Speedster where it's like the way they shot her fighting, no one copied them, and it's the best. X-Men, like every movie now does that, so it's boring.
You know, I don't even have any memories of the Speedsters fight scene. That's how bad it was.
Go to YouTube, fight the Speedster fighting, like the last fight scene. Watch her fight; it's amazing. Because she has also super strength and super speed.
It's actually funny how bad it is. You know, it's so bad. It's actually pretty funny.
Look, every speedster always only has move speed and no the super strength, and it's a massive mistake because they could just run in circles like the Flash, and this speedster like punches really fast, and no one else does that.
What are you talking about? Everyone does that. Have you watched the Flash TV show? It happens every single 2 seconds.
Are you saying that the Flash TV show has good fight scenes?
No, I'm saying Eternals has trash fight scenes.
Flash doesn't do speedster good, so why are you even bringing it up?
It punches like 50 million times in a row, and that's what
No,
happened
but
in
they don't-
Eternals,
they-
and
but
it's
they're
trash.
But they're without
What are you
super
talking about?
strength.
That's the most stereotypical speedster move is to punch 50 million times. I don't see how that makes it a good
No, but they
fight
always
scene.
do it without super strength. So their
Every
punches
speedster
are weak,
has.
and it just doesn't look good.
What are you talking about? When you punch in light speed, also if you don't have super strength, it's still
I'm
super
not talking
strong.
scientifically.
It's just
I'm
basic
saying,
physics.
I'm saying in movies when you
Every
see
single speedster by default has super strength. I don't understand what you're even talking
no,
about.
in movies they just don't. Like you see the way they fight in movies, and they.
One punch from Silver Surfer and you're dead.
Did you say? Do you mean Quicksilver?
Quicksilver.
No, but
And
like
from the Flash,
like
and from
the
every
way-
other one that has super speed.
the way they choreography it. Hope I'm saying that word right.
Fight photography.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't look good. Like Quicksilver.
I have no memory of Eternals looking good.
Yeah, but if you type on YouTube and watch it, you would love it. You'll put it as your favorite MCU thing.
Is that so?
No, not in the middle of the podcast.
No, we'll continue.
What are you doing?
I'm watching a video of the fight scene and I'm gonna show you that it's trash. Look at this. Eternals. Speedster. I don't even remember her name. Speedster. Fight scene. Do you even remember her name?
No. I didn't say the story.
It's 30 seconds, by the way.
Show me.
How are you gonna see it?
Put it next to the mic. I can't see. It would.
Yeah, I'm the one who's supposed to see. Yeah, that was pretty cool, but it's not anywhere near as good as
No
you make
movie
it
does
sound.
it better.
What are you talking about? Silver Surfer. Not
Quicksilver.
Silver
Stop calling
Surfer.
it Silver Surfer.
Quicksilver does it better. Flash basically does the same thing.
Silver Surfer does a completely. That's like apples and oranges. I want to compare. I want to compare the Eternal Speedster to every speedster that doesn't do a Quicksilver. You know, like all the flashes and the. I don't remember.
But
like
then you're comparing apples and oranges. You need to compare all the speedsters to one another. In order
no,
to come to the
Quicksilver
conclusion
does
which is the best
does
speedster.
speed so different, like so original, at first.
This isn't original.
It is
It's not.
super strength plus super speed.
She doesn't have super strength there. What are you talking about? She's
Then
just
you
super
watched the wrong
fast.
clip.
Okay, stop.
Wait, describe to me. I was in the big. I couldn't see. from
She just ran really, really, really fast and like shoved people into walls, and then punched them 50 million times. Like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you just reminded me. I love.
But it's not that good. It's cool, but it's not that good. It's not the best of all time. It doesn't carry the movie. The movie still sucks.
Right.
Jessica had a one scene of 30 seconds that was
I'm
cool.
just
Doesn't
saying
make
it doesn't
not
deserve
suck.
the worst of all MCU.
It definitely.
You know
deserves
what?
the worst
You know
of
what you
those.
didn't put in the list?
What?
Incredible Hulk.
That wasn't that bad.
Talking about a fight scene carrying a movie.
I only watched the last part of it, so
What? You never watched?
I never
Incredible
watched the whole
Hulk?
thing. No.
Wow, that was a wise decision, honestly.
Thank you. I also never watched the Marvels, and I never will. But
Like,
I'm still
the
putting it on my
Incredible
list.
Hulk has one good fight scene, and everything else is boring. Is Eternal? Actually, another thing. Eternals isn't boring. It just isn't great, but at least it's not boring. I wouldn't put it in the top 5 worst. I wasn't like waiting to get for the movie to finish.
I was definitely waiting for the movie to finish. It was so bad. But you know what deserves the worst of the worst of the worst, even though it's not a movie? She-Hulk.
You despise it so much. You just have to put it on the top worst.
I don't care if that's not a
movies.
movie. It's the worst. It's so bad. Yo,
Duh.
remember with the Captain America
I
and
mean-
Falcon?
Wait. You already know my opinion on She-Hulk, but like people need to know.
Do them a favor and don't.
I actually enjoyed the show.
Boo.
I'm kind of embarrassed to say.
Yeah, you're the new gay. It's a new people that everyone hates and discriminate against.
I need to explain. Like
I
if you
still don't
bring
understand.
up She-Hulk, I have to explain my opinion.
Okay, explain your opinion. Go ahead.
I mean, there's no choice.
What?
There's just no choice.
Okay, go ahead. I'll bring a chair.
It has funny scenes with. It's like it asks you the question: What would the
worst movie look like?
What would a courtroom look like in a crazy universe like the MCU?
Mm-hmm.
and that's inherently funny.
You know that they did it all wrong,
Objectively.
right? You know that they did it all wrong. That's not how courts
Yeah,
act
as
at
if
all
you
in
know
any
anything
way,
about
shape, or form.
courts before the while you're watching the show.
I don't, but I know it doesn't work like that.
Well, I don't know anything about courts, so that doesn't bother me.
Either way, movies just sucks. I mean, it's a cool idea. It's a really cute idea, honestly. It would be a great TV show.
It was funny.
The concept is amazing, but it sucks.
No, it's funny. I don't think
It's not funny.
I don't think you even how much I don't think you even got to the.
I watched like 3 episodes.
Did you see like the scenes in the courtroom?
I think so. I don't really remember that well, but
Do you
I
remember
think so.
The light elf?
No.
There's like a magical elf. You know the dark elves from Thor 2?
Look, what I hate about it,
No, you
And
just
never-
interrupt me. Okay.
and never mind what happens in it, it's trash because of this one thing. They act like 5-year-olds. And the men
That
act like
is
2-year-olds.
Valid criticism, but just
That
didn't bother
alone?
me.
That alone?
Listen, you gotta understand. My standards for the show were very low. Like I say, I enjoy it because I was expecting nothing out of it. So the flaws it does have don't bother me because I wasn't expecting it to be good. And then when it made me laugh and it was really funny, I was very impressed.
It was not funny though. That's the only problem. If it was funny, then sure, but it's not funny. Objectively not funny. Like literally everyone agrees that it's not funny.
Do you know what happened in the last episode?
No.
She talks to Kevin Feige, but Kevin Feige
Oh,
is
yeah, you told me, you told
AI
me.
robot.
Yeah, you told me.
It's genius.
Did they make Kevin Feige a stereotypical capitalist pig?
I don't know. He's a robot. He's like AI.
They probably did, but you just didn't notice it.
Yeah, if only you could see movies without thinking about politics, maybe you would enjoy them too.
Unlike you, I notice things.
Anyway, here's my top 5.
Okay. You mean top worst?
Yeah, top 5 worst.
Okay.
Did you know they actually have 33 movies?
33 movies?
33 MCU movies.
Well, yeah, but Makashu.
Because on my list it says number 33.
Oh, wow.
Because my list consists of all of them.
Oh, wow.
I guess I'll start from number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 29.
28.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, number 29.
Then you have 32. No, sorry, then you have 36. Then you have 36.
31, 32, 33.
Wait, then you have 34. Hey, look, if you have 33 bad movies, that means the 5th worst is 28.
No, it's 29.
What is...
I have it right in front of me.
Okay, go ahead.
Thor: The Dark
and you'll see
World.
that it's 4.
Everyone nowadays forgets about everyone likes to complain about the new movies, but Thor: The Dark World was boring.
I remember it being bad. It's a valid...
All the new movies, some of them are really bad, but most of them are not boring. They have things going on in them. Thor: The Dark World has nothing positive about it. Do you even remember it?
Thor: The Dark World? Yeah, I remember it. I remember the scene from Thor Ragnarok.
As
No, I remember.
in all of the new movies, it's easy to complain, but they have a lot of good parts in them. Overall, bad movie, but a lot of things
I'm sure if I rewatched
good.
Thor...
They have some good fight scenes, some cool things. Thor: The Dark World has nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure if I would rewatch Thor: The Dark World, I would find some good things about it.
No, you absolutely will not.
Sure I would.
No, it's such a nothing burger, very generic. Not even a single punch in the movie was filmed good. Number 30 is The Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Number 31, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Of course.
32 is The Marvels. 33 is Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
No, come on.
You already know my opinion on Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
But how...
It's just personal.
What part of it is personal?
Because I like Guardians of the Galaxy so much that Guardians 2 disappointed me more than any other MCU movie ever could.
More than Guardians 3?
Guardians 3 wasn't that bad.
Are you serious?
Yeah, let's see where I put it on my
Guardians 3 was a parody of itself.
Guardians 3 was half good, half bad. It wasn't all that. There was a
No,
lot about
that
it
was
that I really liked.
That was Guardians 2.
No,
Guardians 3 was all bad.
No.
You're
Guardians
getting confused here.
3 has a lot going for it. For example, that world where everyone's animals. Such a cool planet.
Oh, that was pretty bad.
It was really cool.
No, it was bad.
Cyborg giant bodyguard bird. And
Okay.
And the whole Rocket's backstory was like a One Piece backstory where it's really sad and awesome, with all those with his pet.
You're right. That
guys.
was a pretty good
See?
scene.
See, he has something going for it.
But Guardians 2 was way better. Way better.
Now Adam Warlock was worse than She-Hulk,
Nah, come on.
but
No, it was no worse than She-Hulk.
it was a mixed bag of like good things and bad things.
Guardians 2 was
Guardians
much
2,
more
I
good
agree
than
that is
bad.
objectively not the worst. It's just personal.
Okay, fine. Continue with your list.
And also take into account I was 16.
Mm-hmm. All of these movies that I watched, I was 16.
Well,
Except for the Marvels.
no. So I was 16. So you can't imagine how. And it was the first bad MCU movie. In the way that.
No.
No, it was the first MCU movie that bothered me.
Because you watched it. That was the first bad MCU movie that you watched in the movie theater.
Yes.
I don't consider it a bad movie, you know? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much.
I understand it's objectively fine. It's just it was a shock to my system. I couldn't handle it.
Okay.
And I don't think any movie that will come out from this year would ever disappoint me as much.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is on this list.
You don't need to explain yourself.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
Enjoyed
would
it.
ever listen to this and disagree. It was like
And if you do, go kill yourself. You're a cancer to society.
it was like.
I'm kidding, don't.
Do you remember how the movie just looked?
I remember it looking really, really bad and like darkish, you know? Like you can barely see anything the entire movie.
Yeah, it didn't look.
It was just such a bad movie.
It was like it was actually filmed through a microscope, looking at
Yeah, looking at bugs.
looking
Like
it's like taking a micro. It was like at night. The whole thing was dark,
yeah.
and he couldn't see colors.
And the bad guy was so disappointing because they built him up to be such a monster of a villain, and then the last fight scene they have like a fist fight and he sucks.
He was the least of the movie's problems.
He was one of the main ones, I think.
No,
But yeah, the entire movie overall was just really bad. Just bad stuff. Waste of money, type thing. What's next on your list? Going through your book,
yeah.
looking for the next thing in your list.
Anyway, we've been going on for a long time.
Yep, a very long time.
You want to wrap up?
Sure.
You have anything to say?
About anything in general?
No, like
I have a lot to
before we
say.
say bye.
Oh, I'm the Cyclops and the mansplainer.
Yep.
Covey is just kind of here.
The original title for this podcast was Cyclops and the Gay, and that would have been a lot better. But Ishar won't let me.
I'm homophobic, number one. And number two, when you type Cyclops and the gay in the search engine of Spotify, you see like gay podcasts where they talk about like getting fingered and stuff. And I don't want my podcast to be
That's not how
around
people find
them.
podcasts, though.
It's bad influence for the kids.
I don't think you realize how people look for podcasts.
Either way, I don't want that. I don't want it to be anywhere near me. I don't
Anyway,
yeah.
that's been the Cyclops and the Gay.
And the mansplainer.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.